Here is a video I saw via a new YouTuber like me, a lot more subscribers than me though, 399, but the video is titled The Fastest Way to Reach Your First Billion, Lessons from Real Billionaires. So I thought this might be a bit fascinating to watch, so let's have a look.
Let's say you make $10,000 every single day, not per month, per day. That's $300,000 per month, which already puts you in the top 0.1% of earners globally. You're living better than 99.9% of humanity. Private jets are within reach, luxury penthouses are affordable. You've made it by every normal definition of success. Now here's the reality check that'll ruin your mood. At $10,000 per day, it would take you 274 years to reach $1 billion. You'd need to start earning in the year 1750, back when George Washington was a teenager.
Yeah, I've talked about this in previous videos, but $1 billion is so much money. When you start making comparisons, it's like, yeah, it's insane. Like, the more you compare to what $1 billion is, the more you realize how, like, just stupidly insane the whole thing is.
And the Industrial Revolution hadn't even begun. And keep that income streak going uninterrupted until today, just to hit $1 billion. No vacations, no sick days, no market crashes, just a consistent 10 grand per day for nearly 3 centuries. So clearly, earning your way to $1 billion through traditional income is mathematically ridiculous. God! The numbers don't work, the timeline doesn't work, human lifespans barely work. You need a completely different approach. And that's where things get interesting. You need to start a company, but not just any company. Tech startups are the obvious play here, because software has margins that would make a drug cartel jealous. Build an app, get users, pray that venture capitalists throw money at you before you run out of ramen. Mark Zuckerberg went from college dropout to billionaire in 4 years with Facebook. That's less time than most people spend getting a degree they'll never use. He was 23 when he crossed the $1 billion. The catch is that for every Zuckerberg, there are 10,000 founders whose apps got downloaded 17 times, mostly by their mothers and a few bots. But let's say your app actually works. You build the next viral sensation. Something...
Okay, so I don't know what the message of this video is, but I'm going to guess that the point he's making is that to accelerate your wealth, you can't trade money for time in the traditional sense. You have to start a business that scales quickly. Well, which I would agree with. I think that's very, very true. Yeah, I think like clocking into a job, you're never really going to be a billionaire. If you clock into a job, you can definitely be super rich. Like, there are CEOs that are still clocking in and they've been working their way up in the corporate ladder, and they make tens of millions in bonuses at the highest level, maybe close to 100 million in bonuses. So they're stinkingly rich, but they're not billionaires. Billionaires is so much money, it's just not even like... The only way really is to start like a really, really valuable business that scales. That's the only way.
Sticky, something addictive, something that makes people forget they have real lives to live. You need 100 million users spending an average of $10 each. Or you could go the advertising route and sell their attention to the highest bidder like every other platform. Spotify took 15 years to make Daniel Ek a billionaire. Instagram took Kevin Systrom about 3 years before Facebook bought it for $1 billion, which is honestly the fastest exit strategy ever recorded. Build something huge, sell it to someone with deeper pockets, and let them worry about making it profitable. Here's where it gets complicated. Most countries won't let you speed run your way to $1 billion without consequences. China mints billionaires faster than any other nation on Earth, but the government also has a habit of making them disappear if they get too loud about it. Jack Ma founded Alibaba and became the richest person in China, then criticized financial regulators and vanished from public view for 3 months. He came back significantly quieter. So maybe pick a country where speaking your mind doesn't result in mandatory re-education. The United States has produced the most billionaires historically, with tech, finance, and real estate being the holy trinity of extreme wealth. Europe has luxury goods dynasties that have been printing money since before your great-grandparents were born. Bernard Arnault runs LVMH and bounces between being the first and second richest person alive, depending on which day you check. His path involved acquiring every prestigious brand he could get his hands on and consolidating an empire built on selling handbags that cost more than cars. Now, if starting a company sounds like too much work, there's always the inheritance route. But that requires being born into the right family. which you've presumably already failed at if you're watching this. So let's talk about actual strategies that might work within a single human lifetime. Elon Musk sold Zip2 for $22 million, rolled that into X.com, which became PayPal, sold PayPal for $180 million, then dumped everything into SpaceX and Tesla when both companies were on the verge of bankruptcy. He became a billionaire in his early 30s.
Well, yeah, so that's the thing. It's like, to make that much money, you have to be so ahead of the curve, and you need to know what's coming before it comes. And you need to build the infrastructure around that so that when the world needs it, you're the person that's built the infrastructure, so everything has to go through you. That's like basically the only way to become a billionaire. It's not like there aren't all these like crazy strategies. You can't strategize your way to being a billionaire.
By betting everything on industries that everyone said were impossible. Reusable rockets, mass market electric cars, flamethrowers for some reason. Cryptocurrency created more billionaires faster than any asset class in history, and also destroyed.
Yeah, cryptocurrency is exactly what I'm talking about. Because when crypto first came, I remember when especially things like Bitcoin first came and people were like skeptical and it really wasn't that expensive. And look at how much, what is one Bitcoin worth now? Probably stupid amount of money. So one Bitcoin right now is 88.8K in USD. That's crazy. And obviously it's very volatile. Like, I mean, even just today, look at how it drops. Let's look at it over the past month. Okay, performance is not bad. I mean, it's higher at the end of the month than it was at the start. Let's look at a 6-month period. So over 6 months, it has gone down quite significantly. But over a year, it's about the same place. It's about the same value. Really shot up around here where it was 121K. Let's see, 5 years is where it really matters, because obviously if you're investing in these things, you want to be in it for, I normally say 10 years. So 5 years ago it was 26.4K. Right now it's 88.809K. So if you bought Bitcoin 5 years ago, your money has more than 3x'd, which is like insane, absolutely insane. So that's the thing. It's more about knowing that Bitcoin was coming, understanding cryptocurrency before everyone else did, getting in early, being an early adopter, and then, you know, buying in and investing. Because I think like if we go there was a time when it was so cheap. I mean, look at here where Bitcoin is like 655 USD each, like 1K each. It's just crazy. For that to now be worth 89K. Like imagine you invested 10K in Bitcoin. You would have so much money. If you're like an early adopter, you would be so rich. So it's still the same strategy. It's still about being an early adopter, seeing what's coming before everyone else realizes it. So you have to be someone that thinks outside of the box, basically. And that's basically for the business ideas. Some people think outside the box and have the skills to execute, like the tech guys that can actually program their own software that obviously changes the world and stuff like that. So I don't think there's, like I said, it's very straightforward.
More fortunes just as quickly. The Winklevoss twins turned their Facebook settlement money into a Bitcoin empire and became billionaires when the price exploded. Sam Bankman-Fried built a $30 billion exchange called FT and lost it all in about 3 days when everyone realized it was held together with duct tape and fraud. He's currently in prison, which is probably not the outcome you're looking for. But then there's Changpeng Zhao, better known as CZ, who founded Binance and became a billionaire in roughly 7 months. Most people can't lose weight in 7 months, and this guy built the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange from his laptop while moving between countries to avoid regulators. He launched Binance in July 2017 during the crypto boom, processed billions in trading volume daily, and watched his net worth explode past $1 billion before the year was even over. That's faster than any tech startup, any IPO, any traditional business model ever recorded. Of course, he also recently spent 4 months in prison for money laundering violations, so the lesson here is that moving at light speed in unregulated markets comes with consequences. Still, 7 months to $1 billion is genuinely insane. Build a platform, a product, or a piece of infrastructure that becomes essential to modern life.
Yep.
Scale it globally before anyone realizes what you're doing,
Yep.
and hope you maintain control long enough to see the valuation spike. The average time from startup to billion-dollar valuation is 7 years if you're extraordinarily lucky and in the right sector at the right time, with the right team and the right market conditions. Most people never get there. Most companies die before their second birthday.
Yeah, so yeah, kind of what I expected. Kind of this idea that, you know, to be a billionaire, you kind of have to just create something that everyone relies on and scale it globally. And you have to do all of this in a secretive way, because if you're not already a billionaire, well, there are other billionaires in existence that have the resources to kind of compete. So if they realize and understand what you're doing is going to shift, you know, society forward, they can, you know, hop on it and then try to get a lot of their people on it, and they have the resources. It's a lot of different factors that determines your ability to be able to do all those things. And you kind of have to have luck on your side. There's a lot of things that have to come together.